solutions.
It will save lives, no doubt about it.
Investigate TV Plus.
Together, Parker's Kitchen and our customers raised over $300,000 last year to help our partner Wrdw project. So thank you for rounding up at checkout. Your change really does make a change.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 live at 5.
We're tracking thunderstorms tomorrow through Mother's Day weekend. Good evening and thanks for joining us here live at 5. I'm Wrdw.
And I'm Meredith Anderson. We're showing you those storm chances right now. Want to get that radar up for you, and there's a timeline actually.
There you go, Riley. We're under a marginal severe weather risk tomorrow. What do we need to know?
Yeah, guys, it looks like the window for severe weather tomorrow will be relatively late into our Thursday. So kind of Thursday night, Friday morning, that's where we're going to be tracking our next incoming front. Ahead of that front is where there are going to be some thunderstorms. Some of those could be on the strong side. For late tonight into early Thursday morning, we do have a batch of showers moving in from the Gulf Coast. That's going to be heading our way overnight. And then for Mother's Day weekend, not looking great to be outdoors. We do have pretty high rain chances both Saturday and Sunday. We've had some rain today. It started relatively early into the day, around mid-morning. Just saw the last little batch of rain push out of the CSRA. So we are looking dry this evening into early tonight, but if we widen out this view, you can see this next batch of rain. This is going to be moving in once we get past the midnight hours. So that could linger into our Thursday morning, but not expecting necessarily the severe threat Thursday to show up until we get this front incoming over the Appalachian Mountains. So that's likely going to time out for Thursday night into very early Friday morning. That's why the Storm Prediction Center does have us underneath a marginal risk for those severe storms between that Thursday, Friday time frame. With a marginal risk, really just means isolated severe weather is possible. We're not expecting it to be too widespread, but potentially seeing some strong wind, maybe even some large hail. Much more on this forecast for you in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Riley. Tonight, we're learning more after Columbia County Commissioners voted to withdraw from the Greater Clarksville Library region and become its own entity.
Right, this has left library goers with a lot of questions about which resources are staying and which ones are going.
We did the homework for you, and we're on your side as Hallie Turner breaks down what we know so far, Hallie.
Yeah, well, what we know is for now, leaders say the library will stay the same in terms of the services that you get, even when this change takes effect on January 1. Nothing is changing for the summer or the fall, but leaders say even when they do separate into their own library system, what you see will be virtually identical. The Pine system isn't going anywhere. County Manager Scott Johnson made it clear during Tuesday's commission meeting the county will still receive state funding like they do now, and users will still have access to all current state library resources. And while we don't know the list of the items funded by the state, Johnson says it includes Pines and Galileo.
What this would mean is Columbia County would have a little bit greater autonomy to address the unique needs of our citizens in Columbia County. However, we would still continue to receive state funding, access to all the current state library resources, such as Pines, Galileo, all the things that they have in place.
And cardholders still have access to more than 10 million books, DVDs, and other items at any library in the Pines program. You can check them out at no cost. But coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're taking a closer look at how the new library system will operate.
All right, thanks, Hallie, for clearing up some of those questions. We know that Columbia County Library used by so many people.
Very popular, and especially now as we're going into the summer. Thanks, Hallie. New tonight, we have the name of the man who died in a car accident on Mike Paget Highway this morning. The Richmond County Coroner's Office has identified him as 58-year-old Andrew Pragle IV. Deputies say another person was sent to the hospital, but we do not know the extent of her injuries. Now, this is what the scene looked like when our crew got out there. Traffic had just started moving again on Mike Paget. It had been shut down for a few hours. We were there when the tow trucks loaded up both vehicles. This marks the second deadly crash in Augusta just this week. Tonight, we're learning one person is dead after a one-car crash in Bamberg County. This is a map of the area where South Carolina troopers say it happened Sunday night on Dally Road. Troopers say the driver ran off the roadway and hit a tree. They have not released the victim's name yet.
And new tonight, a Burke County paraprofessional faces a criminal charge after being accused of assaulting a special needs student. A new incident report from the Burke County Sheriff's Office accuses James Jarvin of grabbing the fourth grader by the hood of his jacket and forcing him against the wall. We would show you his photo, but we don't have it just yet. The report states this happened on April 15th. The Burke County Public School District tells us Jarvis resigned a day later.
We have new details tonight in the GBI investigation of a Warren County teacher. You're looking at him now, Mason Garrett. He faces a terroristic threats charge for allegedly threatening to shoot staff and students. The Warren County School District Superintendent tells us the incident happened nearly 2 weeks ago at Warren County High School. Records show Garrett posted bond after being arrested April 29th.
3 Augusta suspects face charges after a nationwide child sex abuse sting operation. We don't know the names of these suspects, but we're working to find out. We're showing you video from FBI Atlanta from some of Operation Restore Justice. The agency released a report today that says nearly 300 people were arrested and more than 100 children were rescued nationwide. 9 of those, they say, from right here in Georgia. FBI Atlanta says this is only counting last week alone. The charges range from possession of child porn to distribution of child porn. The special agent at FBI Atlanta tells parents what to watch out for.
Are they becoming secretive? Are they withdrawing from activities they've always enjoyed in the past? Are they demonstrating knowledge of sexual topics that would be inappropriate or unexplained why they would have that knowledge? It's those changes in behavior that might demonstrate that something's going on and they might be preyed at those that would victimize them.
If you believe your child or a child you may know may be a victim of child sex abuse, you can call the number there on your screen. Help is available 24 hours every day.
To a national case now in Memphis, Tennessee. Within the last hour, we learned state charges have been dropped for 3 former Memphis officers in the deadly 2023 beating of Tyree Nichols. Tonight, a jury found Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith not guilty of those charges, including second-degree murder. The 3 defendants still face years in prison, though, on federal charges. The incident happened during a traffic stop. It sent shockwaves throughout the entire nation. We're on your side tonight with a live travel alert. This is a view of the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, a live view as passengers take flight under the new Real ID requirement. Not only do you need a real ID to fly, you also need it to be able to get on U.S. military bases and posts, federal buildings, and even nuclear facilities. However, the real IDs are not required for jury duty. If you're not sure if you have a real ID, just check the upper corner of your ID. It should have a black or gold star. If it doesn't, you need to visit your local DMV as soon as possible. In the meantime, though, you can still fly without it for now. But this comes with added steps at the airport, so you will need to pack your patience and arrive at least 3 hours early. Here's a breakdown of what documents you need to get your real ID. 1 with your full name and date of birth. 1 document with your social security number. 2 documents with your current address. At least 1 document verifying any name change, of course, if that's applicable to you, and 1 document proving lawful status if you are a non-U.S. citizen.
New tonight, the former Director of Planning and Community Development in Grovetown could serve as an Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for the United States. We're showing you him now, Ronnie Kurtz. The announcement comes today after the city of Grovetown says Kurtz was nominated for the position. A Children's Hospital of Georgia receiving a check from proceeds from the Columbia County Spring Fair. A check presented by the Merchants Association of Columbia County is worth $150,000. Officials say the money will help with upgrades, new beds in the PICU unit, and new bassinets for the PICU unit, all to support the children and their well-being in the hospital.
Everybody want to make sure that the child does not get left behind. So because that's our future. Can't leave our future behind. So whenever you have sick children, everyone who has experienced having a sick child want to make sure that they can reinvest in the healthcare that takes care of sick children.
And this is the 2nd year the Merchants Association of Columbia County has donated to the Children's Hospital through the Spring Fair.
Coming up, a plan to keep the lights on in South Carolina amid a major infrastructure boom. It's making its way to the governor's desk. We break down the bill and what's next when we come back.
And we are tracking the chance for some stronger thunderstorms heading into tomorrow night and Friday. Update on the forecast next.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
Hi, I'm Deborah Alfaro.
Fiercely protected by the trucking company. Let us handle the fight for you. Our truck accident experts can get you the serious truck cash you deserve.
We're on your side with a safety alert for you and your family tonight. We are less than a month away from hurricane season. The National Weather Service has declared the entire week Hurricane Preparedness Week. Each day has a theme to help you and your family get ready and stay safe. Behind me is the theme for today. It's called Get Moving When a Storm Threatens. Listed are some key actions you can take. Those include protecting your home, also determine some shelter options, and of course your pets. And get your go bag ready. And Riley, we should really take heed to this advice because we have seen firsthand how much devastation a hurricane can cause. 7 months later, and some of us are still recovering from Helene.
Oh yeah, Meredith, and I just went up to the Corps of Engineers land up at the lake a couple days ago, and it looks like the hurricane just happened up there. So yes, there's still significant damage left behind from this past hurricane season, and likely going to take a few more years to clean all of it up. So make sure you're taking those early preparations, as Meredith just said. Definitely a good time of year to get on top of that. For today, we did have some early showers that pushed through. Now we're starting to dry out. If you have evening plans, not expecting much in the way of rain, so looking good for the Green Jackets game later tonight. That first pitch is going to be at 7:05. We do have more storms that are going to enter the forecast heading into tomorrow and Friday. We'll take a look at the timing of those in just a second, but rain looks very likely heading into the weekend. We're going to have a very good setup to produce pretty widespread rainfall across the region all the way through our Mother's Day weekend, even into early next week as well. So let's take a look at our in-house model here. So for the rest of this evening tonight, generally just seeing partly to mostly cloudy skies. We are expecting rain to show up after midnight tonight, so this will be our next batch of rain that pushes in overnight and likely will continue into early tomorrow morning. Not expecting these to be severe early Thursday. This will just be generic rain for the most part. Once we get into Thursday afternoon, on the backside of that early shower activity, we should be mostly dry during the afternoon hours, but watch what happens as we head past sunset Thursday. So there's your Thursday afternoon, relatively dry behind that early morning rainfall. Once we get towards Thursday evening, Thursday night, early Friday morning, that's when we're tracking our next incoming cold front. That'll bring us a chance for at least some scattered thunderstorms, and some of those could be on the stronger side. So just want to make sure you are staying weather aware and expecting the chance for some of those storms maybe produce some strong wind, even some large hail possible as well. Mid-80s for highs the next few afternoons, but very wet for our Mother's Day weekend. That will cool off our highs down into the 70s.
All right, thanks, Riley. A plan to ensure South Carolina can keep the lights on for generations to come will soon be on the desk of Governor Henry McMaster.
It comes as the state faces massive industrial and population growth, and the clock was ticking for lawmakers to get this deal done. Your State House reporter Mary Green has the details on what it can mean for you and your electric bill.
After weeks of work, leaders in the General Assembly hashed out an 11th hour compromise on one of their major priorities for the year, energy reform. It's an issue lawmakers have said they couldn't afford to not get done before the General Assembly heads home for the year on Thursday.
The question is, ultimately, does South Carolina want to own its energy future? Or do we want to be whipsawed?
Among its many provisions, this expansive bill streamlines the permitting and appeals processes for new power plants. It'll give lawmakers blessing to a partnership between state-owned Santee Cooper and privately owned Dominion Energy to build a natural gas plant at a former coal plant site in Colleton County. The legislation would also make it easier for utilities to raise rates more frequently, which power companies say will help them implement gradual increases over time instead of one large jump in cost every 4 to 5 years.
You also have less rate shock to consumers when that adjustment is made.
You're going to hear from your constituents because their power bills are going to go up every year regardless of what the co-ops tell them.
The compromise does not include any regulations concerning data centers, which senators had put in their version of the bill.
There were several compromises where pieces and provisions were taken out that are easily addressed in other bills down the road.
Some senators say the exclusion of any provisions in this bill on data centers, which are a major driver of the need for more power, is a mistake.
You're going to regret this. Because what's going to happen is we're going to get more data centers. We're going to require more generation. It's going to put more on the backs of residential customers, and their bills are going to go up.
And this bill next heads to Governor Henry McMaster, who has urged the General Assembly to get an energy reform deal done this year. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
New data is providing insight into the role immigrants play in our nation's food supply chain. Look at what that means next.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Last year, we teamed up with Rooms to Go with one goal in mind: to help you create a home you truly love, with fashionable, functional furniture for every room. But we're not stopping there. This year, we're bringing even more to the table. Or, shall we say tables? More to the sectional, more to the entire living room, with more new styles, more new functionality, more new ways to make your home beautiful. It's Drew and Jonathan for Rooms to Go. Bringing more to the sectional? Really? I just went with it.
Jack Shepherd opened
infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. There's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Welcome back, folks. We are expecting a very active pattern all the way through our Mother's Day weekend. You can see our rain totals over the next 5 days will likely cap out over 2 inches across most of the area, potentially get into that 3 to 4 range once we add in the rain from next week. Now, this is going to be our setup this weekend. We have a cutoff upper level low and a stalled front south of us. This is just going to continue churning up Gulf moisture over the area all the way into early next week. So this pattern is going to be pretty steady and a good recipe to see some heavy rain across the region once we get into the weekend. Now, for the next couple of days, we actually have the chance for thunderstorms. This won't necessarily be as widespread throughout the day as what we're expecting this weekend. And actually, our best chance to actually see thunderstorms between Thursday and Friday is going to be when most of us are asleep. So by around midnight tomorrow, heading into very early Friday morning, this is going to be a wave of thunderstorm activity dropping out of the Appalachian Mountains. This is going to be our potential for maybe an isolated severe storm or two. I think most of these storms we're expecting stay below severe levels, but just can't rule out maybe an isolated warning for a stronger gust, maybe even some larger hail. Now, once we see that push out by Friday morning, most of the day looks dry, so that's the thing. Don't let these rain chances completely cancel all your outdoor plans. It looks like most of this rain we're tracking for Thursday, Friday, at least the severe weather threat, will be showing up later into the night and early morning hours. So if you have plans during the day Friday, may not necessarily be a washout. Now, a quick look at this forecast towards the end of the show. Sounds good. Thanks, Riley. New data is providing.
MPI's data also found around 462,000 immigrants work.
We'll take a look at our lake forecast the next couple of days. Want to make sure you're keeping an eye to the sky. Make sure you can get off the water quickly. If you do hear thunder, there is going to be the opportunity for a few storms the next few days. Water temperatures right now up at the lake in the mid-70s. Then look at our 7-day just after the break.
If one of these bad boys crashes into you, their insurance company is going to try to settle with you quickly, but for a lot less. I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and this is my outstanding team.
Hi.
We're known for moving pretty quickly ourselves. Getting your money fast is crucial for your recovery, so we go for the maximum settlement possible. Faster. How fast, you ask? One call, that's all.
Call Ken.com.
It's payback time.
Our space
Now.
Welcome back.
right, folks, a live look over SRP Park. The forecast looks good this evening if you're heading out there. This is 7:05 first pitch. I believe this is the Hickory Crawdads out here getting some practice in before game time. We had some rain early on into the day, but now we're just looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures are up to 74 degrees today, so staying a little bit below average for sure. If you are heading out to SRP Park, it's Warrior Wednesday as well as baseball bingo, so some fun things going on out there. 7:05 first pitch. We should still be in the low 70s around that time frame. And then we're going to see those temperatures fall off into the 60s towards the end of game time. So a nice night to be out there along the Savannah River. Heading into tomorrow, we do have that opportunity for some early morning showers. Remember, we're tracking better rain chances heading into late tonight and early tomorrow morning. You can see those rain chances actually drop off during the afternoon Thursday, and then they pick up later into our Thursday evening. You can see 9 p.m. Thursday right there. Those rain chances now jumping back up. So remember, Thursday night into Friday morning, that's when we're expecting that wave of shower and thunderstorm activity that potentially could produce severe weather. So make sure you are staying weather aware. For our Mother's Day weekend, it is looking very wet, and those high temperatures will likely be well below average in the 70s. More rain heading into next week. Stick with us. Much more after the break.
Hi, I'm Deborah Alfarone.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat makes buying easy.
In a world of busyness and noise, there's one person who remains the anchor of our lives. She's the heart of our home. Through laughter and love, she cultivates memories that will last a lifetime. A beacon of strength, kindness, and unwavering love. She's celebrated not just for all that she does, but for the woman she is.
Fish delish, fish delish. Giant white fish, it's kicking. A new taste you're craving. And pops and a side for $6.99. Amazing. Captain D's fish delish.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
You can find ice-cold refreshment right here at Parker's Kitchen. Cool off with a large fountain drink for just 89 cents. That's a huge sweet tea for less than $1 at Parker's Kitchen. You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us here live at 5. I'm Will Rio.
And I'm Meredith Anderson. We are tracking thunderstorms tomorrow through Mother's Day weekend. We're showing you some of those chances right now on a timeline.
And Riley, we're under a marginal severe weather risk tomorrow. What do we need to know?
Well, guys, I think the marginal risk for severe weather, we'll have much more on this in our Mother's Day weekend in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Riley. A groundbreaking initiative for veterans across Augusta. Veterans Affairs just announced they are now accepting involuntary psychiatric admissions.
This is a major step towards making mental health care more accessible for veterans. Yardra Dickerber explains this new initiative.
It's another way to provide more mental health resources to veterans, something that the VA tells me is needed in our area. The VA is not only making sure veterans know what mental health resources are available, but they're expanding it too. By having their third mental health resource fair, they're connecting veterans with resources they might need, wanting to give them support and break barriers around the stigma with mental health. And starting this week, they're now accepting involuntary psychiatric admissions, meaning they no longer will have to refer cases to community facilities. The VA says veterans will have shorter wait times and give them the chance to offer support specifically for veterans, offering the same care to those admitted voluntarily and involuntarily.
Mental health is essential to your overall health. Your head is on your body, and so you need to take care of your body as well as your mind. And so I think that there's a lot of stigma surrounding mental health, but it's just like physical health. You want to take care of yourself, you want to go to your doctor, you want to get those checkups, and the same thing for mental health.
And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from a veteran about why these kinds of resources are essential for them. In Augusta, Yardra Dickerber on your side.
Thanks, Audrey. Tonight, we're learning the Saluda police chief is resigning, citing issues within the department. Police Chief Archie Hill submitted his resignation letter on April 21st. The resignation letter reads, quote, "I have decided that it is time for me to step down and pursue the rest of my career where I am able to provide for my officers without having pushback because of someone's personal feelings towards an officer that I have hired." He goes on to say, quote, "Maybe the police department will receive all the equipment and vehicles they need to perform their duties duties effectively once I'm no longer the police chief. Regarding the vehicles, Hill claims some are old with high mileage. Hill added that other equipment such as tasers and body cameras are not working and have not been addressed by the town. Hill says his resignation is effective June 27th.
We now know the name of the man who died in a car accident on Mike Paget Highway this morning. The Richmond County Coroner's Office has identified him as 58-year-old Andrew Pragle IV. Deputies say another person was sent to the hospital, but we do not know the extent of her injuries. This is what the scene looked like when our crew got out there. Traffic had just started moving again on Mike Paget Highway. It had been shut down for a few hours. We were there when the tow trucks loaded both vehicles. Now this marks the second deadly crash in Augusta just this week. Tonight we're also learning one person is dead after a one-car crash in Bamberg County. This is a map of where South Carolina troopers say it happened Sunday night on Dally Road. Troopers say the driver ran off the road and hit a tree. They haven't released the victim's name in this crash yet.
New tonight, a Burke County paraprofessional faces a criminal charge after being accused of assaulting a special needs student. A new incident report from the Burke County Sheriff's Office accuses James Jarvin of grabbing the fourth grader by the hood of his jacket and forcing him against the wall. We would show you his photo, but we do not have that just yet. The report states this happened on April 15th. The Burke County Public School District tells us Jarvis resigned a day later. We have new details tonight in the GBI investigation of a Warren County teacher. You're looking at him now, Mason Garrett. He faces a terroristic threats charge for allegedly threatening to shoot staff and students. The Warren County School District Superintendent tells us the incident happened nearly 2 weeks ago at Warren County High School. Records show Garrett posted bond after being arrested on April 29th.
New tonight, $500,000 worth of drugs seized in a massive drug bust in Aiken County. We're showing you photos of that drug bust right now. Tonight, 23-year-old George Huntington faces marijuana trafficking charges. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office says deputies discovered 70 pounds of weed, 5 pounds of marijuana resin, 2,500 THC infused gummies, and 5,000 THC vape pens. Investigators say they got a tip of a large pallet being shipped from California to North Augusta that possibly contained marijuana.
3 Augusta suspects face charges after a nationwide child sex abuse sting operation. We don't know the names of the suspects yet, but we're working to find out more. We're showing you video from FBI Atlanta from some of Operation Restore Justice. The agency released a report today that says nearly 300 people were arrested and more than 100 children were rescued nationwide. 9 of those, they say, are from right here in Georgia. FBI Atlanta says this is only counting last week alone. The charges range from possession of child porn to distribution of child porn. FBI Atlanta Special Agent breaks down this operation.
Operation Restore Justice was designed to coincide with April, which was designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month. So this past week, all 55 field officers participated by conducting arrests of predators. And what better way to show the FBI's commitment to protecting children than to use every resource and tool available to hold those accountable who prey on our children.
If you believe your child or a child you may know may be a victim of child sex abuse, you can call the number there on your screen. Help is available 24 hours every day. Well, prices on baby and child necessities are surging, and tonight parents fear tariffs could seriously hurt their wallets.
Yeah, summer now.
Thanks, Abby. Here at home, there's a chance for parents to receive free baby products next week. It's a part of AmeriGroup Georgia's Free Diaper Day event. The event will be located at the Henry Brigham Community Center next Thursday. It starts at 10 a.m. Free diapers and wipes will be given away while supplies last.
We're on your side with a live travel alert tonight. This is a live view of the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta as passengers take flight under the new Real ID requirement. Okay, not only do you need a Real ID to fly, you also need it to get on U.S. military bases and posts, federal buildings, and nuclear facilities. However, Real IDs are not required for jury duty. If you're not sure if you have a real ID, just check the upper corner of your ID.
Yeah, it should have a black or gold star up in that right-hand corner. If it doesn't, you need to visit your local DMV as soon as possible. In the meantime, you can still fly without it for now, but that comes with added steps at the airport, so you will need to pack your patience and arrive at least 3 hours early.
Yeah, good idea. And here's a breakdown of what documents you do need to get that real ID if you don't have one. You do need a document with your full name and date of birth, one with your social security number, 2 documents with your current address, at least one verifying any name change if that applies to you, and 1 document proving lawful status if you are a non-U.S. citizen. Riley?
Well, heading into the next couple of days, especially by this Mother's Day weekend, we're expecting a chance for showers, storms, and possibly even a flash flood risk by Saturday and Sunday. Much more on this forecast coming up.
Time and temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
Hi, I'm Deborah Alfarone.
Oh, Mother's Day ever. Only at Hamrick's.
You have 64s everywhere. You just love that number.
Yeah, 64 is kind of like a third child to me. That's why I got it trademarked.
You trademarked a number.
Yeah, I pretty much own the number 64. If anyone so much as speaks the number, I could sue them for everything they got. But enough about that. Let's get down to business. How old are you?
I'm gonna grab something out of the car real quick.
What are you doing? Why are you taking your
Right
stuff?
back.
Are you 64.com? Third one this week. I didn't even know you could trademark a number.
Time to join the Morning Mix Fun Club.
Again, the severe weather drops, but then we're just expecting a lot more rainfall. So low flash flood risk Saturday, Sunday. We'll have more on that in just a second.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. The Columbia County Merchants Association presenting a check to the Children's Hospital of Georgia. That money donated was raised at this year's spring fair. The check, worth $150,000, will help with upgrades, new beds in the PICU and NICU units, and state-of-the-art equipment. Hospital officials say this is needed to help make sure no child is left behind and that every child is cared for.
It is one of those things that's when you walk through our facility and you go into our NICU or you go into our PICU and you see some of the sick kids, immediately you want to do all you can to support them. And the local community really picks up on us and supports us.
This is the second year the Merchants Association of Columbia County has donated to the Children's Hospital through the spring fair.
About half of all moms start a business or side hustle when the kids go to school or when they get out of the house. So why not a Mother's Day gift just for them? I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up with some tech gadget gift ideas for the creative moms who have an idea.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
What's with all the goats? Goat. George's outstanding attorney team?
After you've been injured in a car crash, call George C. Injury Lawyers and get the GOAT on your side. Hurt? Call all nines now.
We hate seeing people get in. Our pattern finally does break by around next Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Today's stay-at-home moms are more than caretakers or family Uber drivers. Millions of moms are creators or entrepreneurs.
And YouTube is exploding with mommy vloggers, and some turn the side hustles into full-time careers. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker has rounded up some Mother's Day gifts for moms with an idea.
Many small businesses start right here on the kitchen table. And one of the tools moms talk about that you need to get started is a small printer. So I asked Munban to loan me one of their Bluetooth printers that a lot of moms are talking about. The printer barely takes up any space, but it does a lot. Moms use them to create custom stickers, organize the home, and add a personal touch to gift boxes. Etsy shop users use them to print shipping labels and branding elements. Just load a roll of labels, open the app, and start designing. You're only limited by your imagination. In fact, hundreds of Etsy sellers offer their own sticker designs, and custom stickers make great gifts too. Lighting also matters, especially if she's taking photos of her work, recording videos, or hopping on Zoom. I'm not a fan of these circle lights. I prefer the Lume Cube Edge desk light. It gives her space a soft, professional glow. It's sleek, fully adjustable, and offers multiple brightness levels and color temperatures. And if she already uses Canva's free version, the paid upgrade adds a huge range of tools. With Canva Pro, she can design logos, planners, calendars, even websites and videos. It's just $13 a month or $120 for the year. Perfect for moms with a creative streak and a flair for design. Mother's Day is all about celebrating who mom is and maybe who she wants to be next. And who knows, maybe that idea that starts on the kitchen table could become her next business. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Harlem baseball is back in the Elite Eight tonight. A 3-game series decides whether or not the Bulldogs are that much closer to another repeat, Alyssa.
Yeah, Harlem is the number 1 team in 3A, as they should be. They've knocked off number 32. Then Whitewater calling game at 16. Tonight, Pickens has arrived to the Dog Pound at number 8. This year is a different story for this playoff team for Harlem. Last season, they never played more than 2 games last week. Whitewater forced a game 3 for the first time since Thomasville back in 2023. Whitewater tested this team and their fan base's patience gearing up for round 3. They've done their prep.
Real good pitching staff to hit the ball well coached. They're all around real good. We're gonna have to play real good baseball to stay on the field with them. Well, we're gonna play Harlem baseball. We're gonna try to get good pitching, timely hitting, and good defense. And if we do that, we'll have a chance.
He keeps it real simple, doesn't he? Atlanta United still searching for its soccer soul after the slowest start in club history, just 2 victories on the year and winless in the last 5 matches. Matt Edwards offers a peek into the locker room mindset.
Try to take your mind off things as much as possible, I would say. Just doing things that you enjoy. And then when you're coming here, being as happy and motivated as possible, just to keep going. Yeah, it's a difficult period, but we can come out of it. I think all of us believe that, which is the most important thing. And just staying together as a group.
And South Carolina golf headed to the national championship. That just happening an hour ago, Riley.
Wow, congrats to them. Thanks for that, Alyssa. We do have the Green Jackets in town tonight. We'll have a look at that forecast if you're heading out there just after the break.
Life isn't a whisper. It's a roar. It's about getting your hands dirty, taking risks that thrill, and planning the adventure that awaits the next day. Life is a precious, playful thing, which means it's our job to explore it, to nurture it, and preserve it. But also to let loose and enjoy it. Riverbanks Zoo and Garden. Live a wild life.
Ain't easy. At B&B Ford, you will not pay over sticker price. $99.50 dock fees and no hidden cost. Master certified technician.
Lowest service rates in the CSRA.
Come to B&B Ford for a great experience purchasing your next vehicle.
We treat you like family. Discover the difference at B&B Ford.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi, feel symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 3 years.
Don't use Allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Control is everything.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Skyrizi.
For more than 40 years, our family has been confidently serving the CSRA. Our friendly and knowledgeable team at A&D is here to help you from design to install. Don't leave your project in the hands of subcontractors. Our in-house certified flooring installers are the most trusted in the business. We offer free in-home consultations and financing options up to 48 months interest-free to help bring your vision to life. A&D Carpets and Hardwoods. Come see us today.
Welcome back, folks. A live look at SRP Park. We got the Hickory Crawdads out there getting in some BP and some practice. Game time is going to be at 7:05 tonight, and the weather looks decent for it. We got partly to mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid-70s, so not a ton of sun to bake you in the stands out there tonight. We have comfortable temps in the 70s and 60s. Rain chances remain relatively low during game time. Looks like our next chance for rain should show up after the game, most likely after midnight. Baseball bingo, Warrior Wednesday, a lot of fun stuff at the ballpark tonight. Temperature 71 degrees right at first pitch, just after 7 o'clock, and then by the end of game time should be falling off into the mid-60s. Now remember, late tonight, most likely after midnight, we are bringing in the chance for at least some scattered showers. That will continue early Thursday, so for that morning commute tomorrow, definitely maybe wet in a few spots. But once we get later into our Thursday afternoon, we'll see a lull in that rain, dry for several hours, and then our next wave will show up Thursday evening, Thursday night, into early Friday morning. And that's going to be the way we have to monitor monitor the chance for maybe a couple of stronger thunderstorms out there. So just a heads up. Take a look at our 7-day forecast. The forecast does not look great, unfortunately, for our Mother's Day weekend. Pretty decent rain chances both Saturday and Sunday, even into next week. This is going to be thanks to just a stalled weather pattern. Not really going to see all too much change, but by the time we get to next Wednesday, that pattern finally breaks.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
This is not you.
It's not me.